Well, right now, the world is marking the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, a Nazi extermination camp in occupied Poland.
At least 1 million people, mostly Jews, were murdered there as the camp became a symbol of the Holocaust. NBC's Jay Gray now live this morning from Auschwitz. Jay, a somber anniversary there.
It really is, Ben. Kalen, good to talk to you this morning. A lot of emotion here today, as you would expect. There are dignitaries, leaders from around the world gathering for the ceremonies here, including King Charles. You've got President Macron from France. The U.S. delegation is led by the Secretary of the Treasury, Steven Mnuchin. They are all here. They will all be a part of this ceremony, but none will take the stage, the podium, to speak. No politicians, no leaders. That's because that sacred honor today is only for survivors here.
There were over 1 million Jewish people killed in Auschwitz alone. So this is kind of a sacred ground, the biggest burial of Jews in the world.
Michael Bornstein somehow escaped the gas chambers, the firing squads inside this death camp. You can see him here, a 4-year-old prisoner of Auschwitz. Now, 80 years later, Bornstein returns, not by force, but by choice.
And it's also important for me to show the world, the bigotry and the hatred that went on in Auschwitz.
Around 50 survivors have gathered here 8 decades after their liberation.
Telling their story, and it's a way that people never forget what happened. And in a few years, there'll be no survivors.
And as their voices begin to fade, the work inside this restricted area of the camp, where cameras are rarely allowed, becomes even more crucial. Conservationists and scientists inside this high-tech lab preserving the history here. Thousands of items cataloged, stored in climate-controlled rooms. Still, with all of this work,
tradition is extremely, extremely important to me.
And with the words of survivors, the story of Auschwitz will never really be complete.
Because there is this darkness that will never be told, because most of the people who were deported to Auschwitz did not survive this place. They were murdered. Most of them never became prisoners of the concentration camp. They were murdered immediately after arrival in gas chambers.
This place, a memorial and museum dedicated to their memory.
And those memories, another reason that survivors return here. In fact, Mr. Bornstein telling us that he comes back to honor the memory and pray for his father and brother who were murdered inside this camp.
And Jay, we know there are going to be few opportunities for those survivors to continue to have opportunities to speak here as they continue to get older. Can you talk a little bit more about the significance?
Yeah, Kaylin, and that's what pushes a lot of them. They understand that their time is running out, and they want to make sure there is a first-hand acknowledgement of what happened here and a sharing of those stories with younger generations. I can tell you that 5 years ago they had 1,000 or so of the survivors back here for the 75th anniversary of the liberation. This year, as we talked about 50 able to make the trip. And remember, most of those that return now were all like Mr. Bornstein, young, 4 or 5 years old. And in 5 more years, it's really going to be a much smaller group and a big concern, because with their passing comes the end of those first-hand accounts. And that's why these teams on the ground, the scientists, the preservationists, work so hard to make sure they keep this history alive.
Jay, I'm interested. A lot of folks will never make it to Auschwitz or any of the camps. Standing there right now looks like a sunny day there, but I mean, what is it like to stand there? Is there a heaviness that comes with it?
Ben, you nail it. I mean, I've been here a couple of times, and there is just a heaviness that hits you the moment you walk into this camp. You can feel it, and then as you tour the facilities and look at what's left here, it's just a somber, a real solemn and sobering experience to be in this place. It's something that no one can escape when they come here. You talk to people who are here for the first time, and they tell you the same thing. They just feel it the moment that they are here. They feel that, and they feel the importance of what it means to make sure that all that happened here, the atrocities, the horrors, are remembered and not repeated.
Worth remembering today, but all days as well. Jay Gray reporting live for us outside Auschwitz. Jay, thank you, sir. We appreciate it.